Hi guys, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. So just thought I'd do a little talk down about the visa process and how we ended up being here in Japan. So as you know, we got our jobs, me and my husband, and we moved to Japan. It's something we've always spoken about for the last 8 years. Ricardo has been obsessed with everything Japan for about the last, I don't know how long, way before we met, since he was about 5 probably. And I myself, about certain like animes and stuff, and I've always been into those. And then when we got together, a bit over 8 years ago now, we kind of, there's always been something that we spoke about and always been something that we've always wanted to do, and now here we are. So we have come here on the working holiday visa. There's various documents that you need to submit, and you do need to go to the Japanese embassy in London to apply for this visa. These are the things that you need for the visa. So let's start with the proof of funds. So proof of funds for a couple, you need to show 4,500 for funds, and I think for a single person it was 2,500 or 1,500, but you have to also have a return flight booked or show funds separately for a return flight. If you're applying as a couple, you can only do this if you're married. But you do still also need to do your statements of purpose separately. Everything else has to be done separately. The only thing that they do accept you to go into the embassy and submit everything together. Your itinerary can be the same. Obviously, proof of funds, if they're in one bank account, you can just submit that bank account. The other person doesn't need to submit any type of proof of funds. Ricardo, can you put headphones in? Because I can actually hear you, and I'm scared it's going to come over the video. So with this visa, as I say, you can either apply as a single person or as a couple. To apply as a couple, you do need to be married to do this. Your statements of purpose, if you apply as a couple, your statements of purpose need to be separate. Your itinerary can be the same. And for proof of funds, if for any reason you don't have a joint bank account, you can just put the funds into one. One of you can just submit the proof of funds. The other doesn't need to submit anything in lack of that missing. You don't need to submit anything else. For your statement of purpose, what they really want to see is ultimately at least an A4 piece of paper. I believe mine was a page and a half. They basically want to know why you want the visa, what you want to get out of the experience, and they also, I think they like to see that you have ties to your home country, given that this is a working holiday visa where you stay for a year and then you're meant to go back. And they do want to see that you have ties to home, so just bear that in mind within your statement. The statement does need to be really personal to you, and about your reasons for wanting to go to Japan and what you really want to get out of the experience. So I wouldn't really want to go too much into what I wrote, because it's personal to me, and everyone should just be their own. Because they can tell if it's AI or if not. So just make sure it's personable and make sure that you have a genuine reason for wanting to go to Japan and what you want to get out of it. So the itinerary with this, they ultimately want to see your itinerary for the year. Of course, you don't need to necessarily stick to this itinerary. It's just so that I can see you have some sort of plan and what you want to do where. It's also good for you because actually when we did our itinerary, we found it really helpful, because it helped us find out even more things. Even though we've been studying Japan for years, it helped us find even more things that perhaps we hadn't thought of, or we basically looked at each prefecture in depth of what we wanted to do. I know there's a lot of different opinions online with things like saying, well, just don't stay. You're going to stay in Osaka for 5 months. Don't say you're going to stay in one place for so long. I don't necessarily believe it's anything to do with that. It's more that you have a plan, and I would say you just go into detail about why you stay where you're going to stay for an extended period of time. So for example, with our itinerary, we put, I believe, Osaka for 2 months. Then I believe we put Fukuoka for a month, and then we did actually, along with other prefectures, we did put Tokyo from I think it was from July next year up to September, which is when our visa expires. I'm pretty sure we did July to September or June to September for Tokyo, but we explained our reasons. We explained that Given this working holiday, there's more working opportunities here. If we just did choose to take on some small work, there's more opportunities in Tokyo for foreigners, and also that there's just more to see. Like, it's a big, Tokyo's really big. If you want to stay somewhere for, I would say, more than like 2 months in a certain prefecture, just go into detail about why. And that's pretty fine, because we didn't have to rewrite anything. I know some people say they had to, I had to rewrite my itinerary, I had to rewrite my statement. We didn't have to rewrite anything. Everything was pretty much accepted, which was great for us. So yeah, the next thing, we did also have to submit a copy of our marriage certificate. Don't put that anywhere online either. So do bear that in mind, that they don't put that online. But I called the embassy to make sure we had everything ahead of going. Also, if you have for any reason have an issue with your bank statement, do make sure you print the full statement, or at least an interim statement of some kind if you can, because they will need to see it, and they will make you go and print like the full statement, at least an interim statement of some kind. So just make sure you can get the statement up to the newest point, because they will not accept your application without it. So the application form, you also need to submit an application form. I'll also put a link in the description for anyone that wants to have a look at it. So you have to fill out this application form. So it's things like your name, your address, if you've ever been to Japan before, how long you plan on staying. Obviously, if you're going on the working holiday visa, you can put a year. So you can put like 364 days, or you can, but they do also have online, there's a sample of the application form, so that will also help. That helped me a lot when filling in the form, because I just wanted to make sure I didn't get anything wrong. So they do have that, if you want to just make sure you're not filling anything incorrectly, because I'm pretty sure I filled it in and then I was like, oh, I think I did something wrong, so I had to redo the application form. So just triple check everything that you do or fill in. They'll also ask for a copy of your CV as well. So what I did, which is probably quite lazy, I actually used like a template thing. Not a template, but like an online thing to generate me like just a better looking CV. My CV was fine, there was actually nothing wrong with it, it didn't need updating or anything, but just to make it look a bit more cleaner, I just used one of those like websites that tidies up your CV for you, just makes it look a bit more neater, sort of things. But I mean, some people can just do it themselves. I just wanted it done, so I just used somewhere online to do it for me. It was just quicker. I think that is everything. There's also requirements for this working holiday visa. So the working holiday visa is for a year. I believe you can extend it and now do a second year. So I could, if I wanted to do a second year, you have to be 30 or under for that visa. But yeah, that's pretty much the visa process. Always said, Japan is something that we've always wanted to do. We ultimately had the opportunity to do that by selling everything that we own, essentially. I know a lot of people will be wondering that question, and they think, how do you? Because whenever I watch people talk about traveling lots or going somewhere, I always wonder, oh, how do you afford it? So yeah, we essentially just sold everything that we owned, and we owned a property that we sold, and the various other things that we just had that were worth a substantial bit of money. So we just sold everything. But yeah, that's how we did it. And yeah, as I say, it's always been something we've wanted to do, so a real passion. And the fact that we get to now be here for a year, as I film this, I am in Japan, so our visas were approved, as you'll see from the video as well. We did get the visa. Luckily we didn't have to rewrite anything or redo anything. They were just accepted. So the visas do also cost, so it's £16, and you do need to pay that in cash. So for both of us it was £32 cash for the visas. They actually stamp it in your passport. I can't show a copy of it, but maybe I'll try and find an example online and insert it here if I can. So yeah, they stamp it into your passport, and then when you get to Japan, just so you know, when you get to Japan, you'll get a residency card. I can't show that, it's got all my details on it, but you do get a residency card, and you don't, when you land in the airport, you don't go to, when you walk through, you don't go to the normal check-in bit, because when we went there originally and they said to us, oh, actually you've come to the wrong part. So they had to walk us to like another kiosk type thing, because that was just for like tourists or people coming for 90 days or under. They went to another bit and they give you the residence card in the airport. So they'll go through, they'll look at your visa, they'll take your fingers, your index fingers, I can't remember, but definitely your index fingerprint, a picture of you, and they make sure all your details are right, like your name is spelled right, your date of birth, everything like that, and then you get like a residence card. And then obviously with the residence card and being here for a year, there's certain things you have to follow in Japan or you will get fined. But I'll go into that in the other video that I'm doing a video about like the process of living here and registering yourself and everything like that for health insurance and your address. But I'll film that in another video. But yeah, that's ultimately, you know, my come here. We've been in Japan about a week or so now. Oh, we've been in Japan for about a week now, and yeah, it's just unlike anything else. Anyone that's visited Japan will know, like, we're just so grateful to be here, I guess. Stay tuned for the next video. Catch you next one.